Hey folks, Dr. Groovy Scott Grove from GroovyMusicLessons.com. It's time to talk about the ukulele, as many pronunciations as Ibanez, or Ibanez, or Ebenezer, all this stuff. And by the way, yes, there was the old ukulele from Ibanez that was out for like 1 month back in the days, and I talked a whole bunch of stuff about it. And that was this kind of Iseman looking thing. And they made them for about a month. They didn't electrify them, I did. And then all this cool stuff from KAMN, the people who do all Paul Stanley's mirrored setup like that, they actually released this 3-piece mirror set as a kit. But Ibanez is releasing the new one, March 2019. And it actually looks like a real one. I'll show you that stuff here in a second and show you the difference. Okay, what this is. Okay, it's a ukulele. It is not a guitar capoed at the 5th fret. There are things that not one person has told you about. Philip didn't tell you. Nobody else told you. Blah, blah, blah. Again, it's a ukulele. Play it like one. Don't play it like a guitar. Otherwise, you could have this. Ta-da! Okay, that's a guitar. It played in, this one is tuned up like a guitar, you know. Now they make guitars that are smaller than this now, that are, of course, the classical things with the nylon strings, and they're calling it a guitar lele. So that, yeah, you can go ahead and just play it like a guitar and do that damage. Okay, there's where you can go ahead and capo your guitar at the 5th fret and have all 6 strings be the same. But it's just a small classical guitar. That's where you could play it like a guitar, because it is. An ukulele is not. It is its own instrument. Okay? The sound of Hawaii does not sound like Motorhead or Black Sabbath or Skinner or anything. It does not sound like a guitar, so you should not play it like one. Guess what? A ukulele is tuned to an open tuning. C6 is an open tuning. Like on guitar, you tune it to an open E or an open G or any other open thing. You know, you can play slide or whatever, just open tunings. That is how a uke is tuned, in an open tuning. So you can play all the chords with one finger, okay, instead of playing guitar chords. So you add to that one finger thing. Think about it. It's an open tuning. A guitar is not. Okay, it's a whole different instrument. Again, the first electric instrument ever made was a from the Polynesians. I'm saying all over the world, but was from the Polynesians, and it's strictly a Hawaiian thing as far as most people call it. You know, the lap steel, and it was in C6 tuning. And it's what that Hawaiian sound is done, what it was made in. You got pedal steel guitars right there. You have, if it's a twin neck that you have, I just have one of the necks out of there and a pad put in. But that is an E9. And then the second neck is tuned in, you got it, C6. And that's to do Western swing. I will show you a tiny bit of that in a bit. But to why thinking of this in C6 instead of a capoed guitar is the way to go, because otherwise you aren't learning how to play this instrument. You're learning how to bastardize it. badly. Okay, so here we have my most beautiful axe, and it's capoed at the 5th fret. Yes, the notes are the same, but that's not what it is about, and you will again make this sound like a guitar, which you do not want to. Okay, so you have, let's check it out. Okay, so like the high E on the guitar, capo at the 5th fret, and then the uke, next string, B string on the guitar, next string, you're like, well, what the hell, what's the difference? Here's one of the differences, is none of them showed you the last string, the G string on here. Listen, it's kind of like a banjo, okay? It's like, it's tuned in C6. It's not tuned in guitar. Listen. See, there's a high string there. Nobody told you that. Not one person. There's like 50 videos. Yeah, just capo your crap at the 5th fret and then play uke. I'm sure it's been fine for selling ukes, and people are playing Sweet Home Alabama on their uke. Not right. It's just, sorry, I know music is whatever you make of it, and these are just tools to do what, and other people are just tools for doing certain things. So I'm showing you one way, and you can decide what to do with it. I can tell you what a lot of you what to do with it, but again, C6, and think about it that way, and you're not supposed to be that's not what that is. That's nothing. It's playing a little bitty toy guitar is what that is. C6. What do we get? And all the people are also playing it with a pick. These are not supposed to be played with a pick at all. Then again, Willie Nelson is not supposed to use a pick on nylon strings either, but he does, which is Willie's way. Okay, but you're not supposed to do it on here. If you do decide to do it, you're supposed to use felt picks. Yes, picks made out of felt, so you get the same sound as your finger pads, not of a pick. So people do not grow their fingers out long, or fingernails out long. Yeah, I grow my fingers, look like E.T. So no. Hope you didn't have your 3D glasses on. Okay, I know you guys are turning around now, getting a thrill. Turn around, let me take your temperature. Again, Hawaii. Go listen to IZ, monstrous uke player. He would have been the biggest thing in the world, not size-wise, but still size-wise. If he hadn't have died right when he did. Go listen to Somewhere Over the Rainbow was the most popular song on the ukulele for some reason. But listen. That is a 6th. Again, it's not this. Or, yeah, I can't even do it on here. I can't force myself to make it sound like a guitar. You can't do that with a pick anyway. Okay, and let's go about things this way. The main thing I could tell you that probably drive all this home better than anything is that a ukulele is supposed to be played with its own voicings, groups of notes that go together in a certain way. Again, that's why the low string is actually a high string on the uke. You know, you go down to where your low string should be, and it's tuned up all high. Sorry, I'm just trying to carry this thing. But yeah, piano players, keyboard players would naturally at the beginning, when they first on day one, try to learn root, 3rd, 5th, and learn a C or a D. Root, 3rd, 5th, that's how guitar players basically think. But if you get a C like this, you've got the 3rd, 5th, and the root, because a piano is not supposed to be voiced in the same way as a guitar is. Otherwise, you'd be doing the same thing. Put it on a guitar patch and play it like a guitar player. Some people do, but like I said, not everything is the way it has to be. Yeah, creativity is allowed for. I'm just telling you the traditional way things are played. And again, it's about the voicing of what a uke was meant to be, what it is meant to be. Again, you can screw it around, all you want. It's your stuff. But again, I don't want you to go jumping into what you think is the deep end of the pool. Think you can jump on stage now, tonight, ready to go, and sound like a real uke player. No, you can go ahead and play all the chords you want, but it will sound like a person with a capo on their classical guitar, not playing a uke. Okay, so there are two differences there. There's the fact of it being higher, so it would sound weird, and the fact that you're playing guitar chords on it instead of uke chords. Just simply go look at any flipping page of what the chords are supposed to be played like for a ukulele. Okay? Look at the real way the chords are supposed to be played, not the way they're played on guitar. Okay? So that's it, the voicings. So 6 chords. Up on the wall over there. Yes, I'm going to ramble for just a moment. There are lap steels. One's tuned as a C6, like this. One's an E7, like the pedal steel. And another one I have to an open G, which would be like a resonator, which some people will call a dobro. Actually, dobro is a brand. It's not an instrument. Okay, take the acoustic guitar out and then try to get this wrapped up and then tell you about the Ibanez that's coming out. C6. Okay, I'll just do this one in, since you're going to capo anyway, I better get it in a place that sounds, it's never going to sound like a uke because it has steel strings on it. Anyway, I'm going to play 6th chords. As far as music in the Western Hemisphere, meaning USA and stuff, cowboy music, that's right, Western swing, back in the cowboy days. Everything was done on pedal steels or on lap steels tuned in C6. If you listen to that stuff from the 40s and so forth, but the country Western swing, everybody was playing the C6 lap steel, the Hawaiian thing. And that's because they countrified everything, but they started using that, and then it sounded like swing music. If you don't know what swing is, go listen to some. Just because you don't think you like it, learn a little something. Especially if you're going to play ukulele. You miss the whole point if you grab the wrong instrument for the wrong thing. That's like trying to scoop up, drink hot tea with a fork. That's what the same thing that people are telling you about this capo thing are doing. It's like, well, you can still somehow get it done. Use chopsticks and drink that tea with that. It's like, really, it's the wrong thing to do. So here's a G chord. Okay, that's what they're telling you to do. Just play a G chord on the uke and it'll be fine. Sorry, no. Here's G6. Okay? I know, Huey Lewis and the News. But here you go. If you got guitar and you're playing country, well, country from the 80s anyway or so, 70s, 80s, 90s, today's so screwed up. But here's typical country. Okay, lots of sevenths going on and so forth, but if you play a C6 chord, you can almost, and I have to do this a lot because I'm not going to jump behind a steel real quick and do everything else unless I just do it here at home. You just don't have time to take those to gigs. Anyway, so you just use volume pedals and sixth chords and try to emulate that sound. So here's G, C, and D, but playing sixth chords on everything. Okay, now that is Western swing, that is Hawaiian, that is what stuff played in a sixth sounds like. That's what your uke is supposed to sound like. It's not supposed to sound like a guitar. Okay, so if the little fifth fret capo thing gets you at least interested, fine, but I want you to know what a uke actually is. Okay, it's same way some of you keyboard players out there will get this. There are keyboard players and there are piano players. Been in bands so many times where we are looking for a keyboard player, okay, that can also play piano and so forth. That can also will play horns and synth lines and strings. But some piano players are like, no man, you know, you get those guys that show up at your auditions. It's like, well, we said we needed a keyboard player, but piano players keep showing up. It's like, if you need a guy on trumpet, hire a trumpet player. I'm not going to play it just because it sounds perfect on this keyboard as that. It's like, okay, we need you on Can't You See to play the flute part. I'm a piano player. It's like, no, you're the fuck out of here. Okay, so a uke is supposed to be a uke, period. Okay, if you want to get all weird with it, fine. I've done it too. I've put it through talk boxes and wah-wah pedals and like to have my fun too. Who doesn't? But just trying to put the uke in perspective. Okay, now let's have some fun and get it out of perspective. Again, just trying to give it its dignity back. The Ibanez IC120 was a was the cheapest Ibanez Iseman in the world, and it does not look like one. Okay, same as this. Okay, again, I told you Ibanez had the new Iseman coming out. So see, there's no real curl back here. There's no real curl here. So this is the Iseman 120 that they did for about 1 month back when. And again, KAMN made this kit for them because they thought it was going to stick around. So I bought the kit, blah, blah, blah. I wanted another one just so I could have it plain and black and have one original since they weren't around. Instead of the $150 I originally paid for this, within 6 months later I had to pay $400 to a guy from Germany who would let one go. Okay, and they were not electric, they weren't anything, they were just shaped after this 120. So here is the guitar, the Ibanez 120. Here's a picture of it. Okay, so that's what this was after. So we know an Iseman does not actually look like that. So next month, March, as of the making of this video anyway, the new Iseman is coming out. I wonder who they got the idea from. Of course from me. The world revolves around me. Yes, I made that much stink. Do I give myself the credit? Of course. Anyway, an Iseman is supposed to look like that on the horn. It's supposed to look like Dairy Queen serving up an ice cream cone right there on the top. Yes. So the new ones look exactly like that, and they're black, and they made them electric. They do not come with the mirror kit. If you want to do that, you might have to send them to the KAMN company. Again, they make all the Paul Stanley stuff and always have, and they made those. I'm sending mine in as soon as I get it. They are available for pre-order right now, so order yours if you want one, but it looks like the real deal, so it looks like this. Okay, so much better, huh? Just flippin' awesome. It's like, there it is. Why be normal? Anyway, I'm going to show you a tuner that I got today for $100. It's normally like $250. This was brand new, never taken out, not a second, nothing like that. But check this out. Here you go. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so this is a room tuner. What do you mean? They're supposed to hang on your wall. You can walk around the room, not plug anything in, unless it's an electric guitar, but then you could just have it in your amp. But as you see, okay, you can put it in different modes. That's in a strobe mode. You can have it in different strobe modes. You can have it in the regular looking way. You can actually put a cord between here and here, and it will actually be a cable checker. It checks your cables, see if they work right. There's an input if you want to plug your guitar into the front of it, or whatever your bass is. So here's my hand against it to give you a comparison how big this is. I've just got them hung up on these just to cover up some of the junk in my thing there. So got a bunch of pedals behind there. So isn't that awesome? I dig it. And again, of course, there's the built-in microphone. And if it don't pick up enough, and it doesn't quite do enough for like the ukulele if I'm over by the drums or something, if I'm playing way over there. So I'm just going to, in the back, along with the microphone, just put a preamp back there, preamp pedal, and just simply boost that signal way up. You're not going to hear it anyway, so hey, might as well make the microphone ultra sensitive. But on the sides, you do have buttons over here to change what the display is, whether it's in, I used to have, there it is, I do have a flashlight. Okay, so you have a calibration. Look here, you got places for all kinds of fun things. Your display, so if you want it all the different ways, strobe mode, otherwise, blah blah blah, on, off. Here at the bottom, you do get the wall wart with it, and also with it, right there, your remote control. So you can turn it on and off. Yes, we are lazy. But there you go, the Korg tuner. In tune since 1975. Very cool. Again, these are supposed to be like 250 bucks. I got it for $99.95, free shipping over on Reverb. And I think it was the only one there. It was from a music store, not from some guy named Ed on eBay. But very cool. So I hope everything has been informative, or at least goofy enough to be a Dr. Groovy video. So again, you guys be groovy, and hey, check out those Iseman ukuleles for all you guys who kicked yourself for not getting one. Now it will actually look like one. It's electric, all that. You know, I've already pre-ordered mine the day I saw it. Flippin' amazing. Talk to you soon. Woo! Bye, kids.